What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk about this CNN Money interview that Rian Johnson and Mark Hamill did that everybody has been tweeting me and emailing me. I'm sorry, I should have gotten to this sooner, but I've been busy, but let's jump right into it. So they did an interview with CNN Money, and they said a few things that stood out to me. And I've got a lot to say, so let's talk about it. CNN asked the question of Rian Johnson and Mark Hamill, looking back, was there any criticism that you've read that you feel might be fair? Immediately, Rian Johnson says, no. And then Mark Hamill jumps in and says, we're happy to ruin people's childhoods. Then he gives a playful smile. To be fair to Mark Hamill, I think he was completely joking. I don't think he was serious. Everybody knows about the "it ruined my childhood" thing that happens on the internet anytime someone is unhappy with a movie, game, or something like that. I take Hamill's comments as a joke, a playful joke, and I'm fine with that. That didn't bother me at all. Did Rian Johnson's no bother me? It didn't bother me because I'm so used to Rian Johnson showing how out of touch with reality he is. That didn't bother me at all. But there is something Mark Hamill said that did bother me, and we're going to talk about that. So they also moved right into how the complaints on social media and how if there was social media back during the Empire Strikes Back days, how people would have complained nonstop about this, that, or the other. Basically just trying to make more excuses for why there is so much outrage for The Last Jedi. And Hamill said, we were so lucky social media wasn't around with The Empire Strikes Back. And then he said, wallop and send. It's easy. Pure hatred can be delivered to your home in a nanosecond. I mean, he's not wrong at all. But let's remember who we're talking about here. We're talking about Mark Hamill, the guy, the grown man, the multi-million-dollar actor who has one of the most iconic roles in the history of cinema, uses Twitter to whine and cry about the President of the United States of America. He does this constantly. He does it nonstop. And he has a problem with people using Twitter to complain about something that they're passionate about, yet he's okay doing it with his platform on Twitter. But we disagree with Mark, apparently, or at least the paycheck that he's received have told him that we disagree with him now. Clearly, he changed course really quick. But so it's okay for Mark Hamill to do it, but it's not okay for us to do it. I've been following Star Wars my entire life. I've spent a lot of money on Star Wars. I've spent a lot of time on Star Wars, and Star Wars means a lot to me. So if I don't like the current direction of Star Wars and I feel that there is a real problem, then I, as an individual, have a right to speak my mind. Just as Mark Hamill, as an individual, has his right to speak his mind on Twitter about whatever things he's passionate about. I just find it interesting that Mark Hamill never, ever seemed to complain about Obama on Twitter, and he never seemed to complain about Hillary Clinton, the person that he donated to. So I guess they were perfect individuals, and Mark Hamill just had no problems with Hillary Clinton was perfect, right? So Mark he's really just passionate about Trump's flaws, which Trump has many flaws. And there's many things to complain about Trump. I'm not taking up for Trump in this circumstance. I'm saying if Mark Hamill is so concerned with the world leaders and the people that have influence over the politics, why was he not vocal about Hillary Clinton and all of the things you can complain about her? Did he think everything Obama did was perfect? Interesting how that works. But it's okay to use social media to, his words is deliver hatred. Pure hatred can be delivered to your home in a nanosecond. He's okay using the nanosecond hatred when it's something he's passionate about, but when it's something that other people are passionate about, he seems to want to have a problem with that. That is hypocrisy in its finest form. So at the end of the day, I'll continue talking about this topic simply because, number one, I'm done with The Last Jedi at this point. Like, I'm ready to move on from the movie. I'm ready to move on from it. The problem is Lucasfilm continues to show they have no self-awareness, and they don't seem to think that they need to correct course. So, from that perspective, no, I'm not done with The Last Jedi. I wish we could just move on from it. And it's funny because they do acknowledge in so many different indirect ways that they know that they've messed up. So you look at the trailer for the Blu-ray release. It didn't show Canto Bight. It didn't show Rose. It didn't show DJ. It didn't show Holdo. It didn't show the space dinosaur. It didn't show the lightsaber toss. Why? Like, all of the things people bitched about, and you specifically did not show any of those things in the trailer. So Disney knows they've messed up. But they will not correct course. Rian Johnson still has his trilogy. Rian Johnson's still on Twitter calling people man babies. Obviously, Mark Hamill now is on here talking about how social media and how people apparently aren't allowed to complain unless they agree with Mark Hamill. And yeah, Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm, they're very tone deaf right now. And again, The Last Jedi, you tried to be ambitious, and I respect that. But you failed. And instead of acknowledging your missteps, you are continuing to double down on them. So me as a fan, I have a voice. If people choose to listen to my voice, that's cool. Then that means I'm saying something that resonates with a certain amount of people. So I'll continue to do that. And nobody can stop me. Nobody. You can't stop me. It doesn't matter how much you complain. It doesn't matter how many times you call me a racist on Twitter. It doesn't matter how many call me a sexist or an alt-right. It doesn't matter how many incorrect labels you attach to me. You can't stop me. I don't work for you. I don't work for anybody. I work for the people that want to watch my content and the people that interact with me. And those are the only people I'm really concerned with. And I'm also concerned with Star Wars not being politically and propaganda driven. I want Star Wars to be Star Wars driven. And as a human being with a voice, a singular voice, I have that right. Even though Mark Hamill doesn't seem to think I have the same rights as he does, he's wrong. And I'll continue to speak up. So that's my problem with the interview. It's not so much that he ruined people's childhoods. I genuinely believe Mark was joking. I genuinely do. And he has completely flipped. I mean, completely. And I think we all understand why. And I don't blame Mark for that per se. But when you start taking shots at people complaining on social media, when you yourself have done so much of that, that's the problem I have with it. So anyway, Rian Johnson sucks. Mark Hamill is being a hypocrite on the social media situation. I don't really find any problem with his joke. And as much as I'm ready to move on from The Last Jedi, we can't because Lucasfilm is continuing to double down. So, I'll be back, and your tears are delicious if you continue to whine about me talking about The Last Jedi. I'll drink them up, I'll spit them mofos out, and I'll continue talking about the trash known as The Last Jedi. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later.